Are you in Romans? Are you in chapter 8? How about verse 34? Let's do verse 35, sorry. Verse 35. Are you in verse 35? Okay, let's do it together. 1, 2, go. Pause. You know, John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world that he did what? Now, the love of God and the love of Christ is two different things. The love of God is the one that God showers on you by his mercy and grace so that you become his child. The love of Christ is actually a government, a system, a way of living. Jesus told the disciple, he said, a new commandment I have given unto you, that you will love one another. That love commandment that he gave to us is what we call the love of Christ. It's what comes from within you. It's a cultural living. Are you with me? It is the love of Christ that you show your neighbor. It is the love of Christ that makes you to pray for the person that despises you. It is the love of Christ that makes you share with someone else even when you don't have much. Are we together? I'm not sure you are with me. Are we together? However, it is the love of God that is shared in your heart that gives you the grace to live the love of Christ. Are you with me? It is that the love of Christ that is inside of you that gives you the ability to love God back. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with what? With all thy heart, with all thy might, with all thy what? Thy soul. Then what should you do to your neighbor? And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay. Now, I want you to pick something. Here it says, who shall separate me from the love of Christ? In other words, there is a who that carries a responsibility to bring about a separation. Please, let's go back again. What are we to be separated? What is the aim for, or what is the aim for this who? Is to separate what? Me and you from what? The love of Christ. What's the love of Christ here? Our natural habitation, our cultural living, what we are known for. Are we together? Who shall separate? So now let's begin to see how the who's here begin to play. Though I have a different message caption for this, but let me just bring it this way for you. What's the first thing you have there? Who is the first who? Tribulation. So when trouble happens in my life, the real aim is not actually the trouble. The real aim is how I behave, how I react in the midst of the trouble. Are you sure you get something? So the spirit of might helps you to stay in the love of Christ in the midst of tribulation. I'm not sure you heard me.